If you recently purchased a Sensus AMR or AMI solution, one of the first things that you're going to be doing is installing SmartPoints, the Sensus SmartPoints on your existing meter population. For the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to be using a 500 GM SmartPoint along with a commercial diaphragm meter. For size purposes and demonstration purposes, we have a top plate of a commercial diaphragm meter here along with the existing meter index, which will be installed on the 500 GM. For the purposes of this demonstration, I've already removed the mounting screws that sit on the back of the index cover. So we're going to go ahead and remove this index cover along with the existing meter index. One of the most important things to ensure before you install the existing index onto the 500 GM SmartPoint is to make sure that your index drive is operating appropriately. So you'll want to just turn the drive dog in the back and make sure all of your dials are moving appropriately. This one looks like it's in good working order. Typically, in an outdoor setting, you're going to have some particulate or maybe even gasket material that's sitting down here. You're going to want to take a wire brush or putty knife and just go ahead and clean that off. Make sure your drive dog spins freely as well. So what we'll do is the 500 GM SmartPoint comes with a drive dog, plastic drive dog that sits in the middle here, and you'll just want to line that up over the commercial meter diaphragm's drive dog as well, and line up your bolt holes, your screw and bolt holes. The front of the index, the front of the SmartPoint always has the Sensus tag or the Sensus meter ID sitting there, and then the back is the battery housing. Make sure that's lined up. Okay. And your hardware kit comes with two mounting screws for the index. Those are placed in the smaller screw holes here on the top of the 500 GM. And the index mounts just like this. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to mount the index screws. And just snug. It is a plastic housing, so you don't want to over tighten for fear of cracking. Okay. And we'll actually leave this around. So you're looking at the back of the SmartPoint now. So the mounting hardware kit comes with two bolts, two washers, two gaskets, two basically security caps, and two rock seals or security seals. After you get the index mounted on the SmartPoint, the next step is to add the index cover. So you're going to place that index cover over the SmartPoint as so. And you're going to use the two bolts, two washers and gaskets, and the two security caps. The security caps go on first, followed by the washer, and then the gasket. And we'll drop that down. Into the well holes. And sometimes these can be a little bit difficult to get lined up. So sometimes I'll take the SmartPoint and just lift it up slightly and make sure it is in the appropriate location. Tighten the bolts down with a flathead screwdriver. There it is. And don't over tighten for fear of cracking the SmartPoint housing. Your next step is going to be to add the 2 rock seal security screws. And those just slide right on top, and I find it easiest to use your flathead screwdriver and just pop those down into the well until flush. These are the tamper evident security seals. And the finished installation should look like this. So we've successfully installed the SmartPoint hardware on the commercial meter, and now we are going to use our command link. Make sure that's fully charged and placed on the right side of the SmartPoint for activation. The power button should be facing upward. Open your FieldLogic Tools app on your phone or other handheld device. And this demonstration also assumes that the appropriate configurations, the appropriate product configurations have been loaded onto your phone by either your distributor or a Sensus tech support personnel. So for this demonstration, we are just going to activate the SmartPoint with those assumptions in mind. All right, we mentioned that little tag on the front. Scan, the first step is essentially to connect to your SmartPoint, and we are going to scan the FlexNet ID, which is located on the front of the SmartPoint. You're going to go through a series of prompts, and with a successful connection between the phone and the command link, you will see a blue light indicating a link between the two, a Bluetooth connection between the two. You should see, your first screen, you should see that the device is not active, the SmartPoint is not active, and you'll simply select Activate and choose the appropriate SmartPoint configuration. For this configuration, we have 6 dials in this SmartPoint configuration, being that this last hand is equivalent to 100 cubic feet. And you will enter the reading left to right. It's going to be 8, 9, 7, 0, 1, 1. And select Next. The next step after entering in your read here is going to be entering in the meter number typically found on the commercial diaphragm's meter badge. Some customers have custom serial numbers for some of these meters, but for this example, we obviously don't have a meter number, so we're just going to use the type of meter that it is, which is a Sensus 5000. The FieldLogic Tools app will go through a series of prompts, or will show a series of prompts on your handheld device indicating that it is successfully configuring and programming that device. The final step, once the FieldLogic Tools configuration is applied to the SmartPoint, you will see a successful and activation success page populate on your handheld. You've successfully installed your first commercial diaphragm meter SmartPoint.